Well, I've been working for a long while on boiled eggs, and these actually are not boiled. I read and saw a video about how you could bake eggs instead of boil them, and this is kind of my review. Um, I don't like it. I really don't like it at all. You can see the eggs here. You can see a lot of the brown and burn spots on it. When you boil eggs and they tumble around a little bit, the yolk and everything solidifies in the middle, and there's moisture to it, so peeling it's a lot easier. When you have hard cooked eggs like this, I won't say hard boiled because we didn't boil these, you don't want any blemishes on the peeling like that, because it actually doesn't store as long. So we could still use these. We could still put them in a pickling jar with some flavorings, and then it'll be fine for several weeks. But if I were to store these on the shelf and for months at a time, these blemishes on the eggs will cause everything to spoil, and it can actually be poisonous. So we don't want that. When I laid these down on the pan, you could see where they laid on the bottom, and it burned the bottom because the metal of the pan was touching the eggshell. The eggshells themselves were very, well, I'll show you. This is one of our store-bought eggs that we didn't buy. If you saw my other video, you saw that we accidentally were given an 18 count carton of store-bought eggs, these white eggs that we didn't order, and somebody out there is probably missing their eggs, but whatever. So the problem with eggs that are baked, and I'm gonna show you, I'm just gonna peel one. You're lucky I didn't make you guys sit through peeling all of these, because it's been quite the feat. The shell is so brittle. It's like I have a shell bowl. I'm surrounded by bowls here. I have a bowl that I've been putting shells in, and then a bowl for water to rinse off my fingers, because the shell and the egg is so dry and so brittle. You could see the brown in it already. It's horrible, because I'm not even sure, at least with boiled eggs, I know that the membrane is intact. In this, the shell is so brittle, the membrane is rubbery. I have to dip it in water just to be able to manage it off. And half the time, the membrane pulls the egg white apart with it. The first few eggs I peeled, there was barely anything left of the egg. It was so horrible the way it peeled apart. And this one's peeling pretty good. And I assume it's because when we get store-bought eggs, they're usually already a few weeks old. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Store-bought eggs are never fresh eggs. They are being processed and chemicalized and cleaned and then sorted and then shipped and packed and shipped again. So by the time they reach your store and by the time you make it to the store to buy them, it's been a while. But the benefit to that is it makes better for boiling eggs, because fresh eggs are so difficult to peel when you boil them. So you can see on this egg here, like how one side is kind of brown. That's like a baked on brown. That's like when you bake bread and it gets a little brown on it. And I don't know how I feel about that for canning eggs. So I've got my bowl here. So what I figure I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna throw these out by any means. I mean, it's still valuable eggs. We can still can them. You see I have all the canning stuff in there. There's my big canning pot. And I am, right now I'm getting ready to boil the sauce for Sam's eggs. And then I've got the tomato paste out for, the tomato sauce out for Bobby's eggs. And then I'm just probably gonna make salted canned eggs out of the rest, keep them in the fridge. So the ones that have the blemishes and everything will be fine if I can them and keep them in the fridge. We can still eat them. Just let them marinate for a week or two, and then the boys can eat them. So we still have eggs, and I had been peeling all these eggs today, and I still have about 3, 4, 6, 7 eggs here left to peel. So I'm just running out of room on this bowl. So I'm gonna go ahead and can some of these in the jars. I have some sterile jars that are boiling in that big pot right there. and it's been simmering for a couple hours, so the jars and the glass are sanitized, and then the lids have been sanitized as well. So I'll make a different video on how exactly the canning process goes, but for now, my thought is if you're gonna bake eggs, it's a very bad idea because these are horrible. And they were a pain in the butt to peel. So don't bake eggs unless you plan to, I don't know. It is a lot less work, I guess, in a sense of you don't have to empty a pot of water and then do all that, but really it's about the same amount of work trying to peel them and make up for this crap right here. So I'm a little disappointed, but we always move forward and make it work, and we're gonna make this work, and we're gonna make some canned eggs regardless, and it's gonna be delicious because I'm sure they still taste the same. I did give a couple to the dogs, I'm not gonna lie. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and I'll show you how I'm canning these eggs and flavoring them up.